For this video, I'm going to unwrap this hockey stick. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure we check the model, make sure there are no extra faces. And before I started this, I noticed I had some extra faces over here. So let me just focus in right there. There we go. So now that's better. I'm not going to close this up because it's just going to create some problems for me later on as I'm unwrapping it. Okay, and then obviously I'm just going to clean the scene up a bit. Delete history, center pivot, freeze transformations. Then I'm going to go into my channel box here, rotate Z. Let's try 45 to get a straight object. And then we'll just bring this to the center. Go to the top. And then just bring that there. Make sure it's centered. Oops. Okay, front view. Oops. There we go. Okay, so now, same thing. And we are ready to go. Okay, so for this first part, I'm going to unwrap the bottom portion first of the stick. Because if I try to do it all in one piece, I feel like it would create a little bit more, it would create more problems than it would solve. And knowing myself, I like doing things just in phases or piece by piece. So all right, so this portion, I don't know if I would have much luck with doing a cylindrical wrap or a plane. I mean, I could do a planar map, but it wouldn't grab all of these extra faces and it would create a little bit more work. So I think in this case, I'm going to try doing an automatic unwrap. So we'll just do that. And then we'll go into our UV texture editor and see that all of our pieces are ready to go. Now, obviously, in this case, it creates a little bit more work for us because now we have to figure out which pieces go with what, and it's going to take some time, and I'll try to speed through this. So I'm going to turn this on. As you can see, both of these pieces are in line. Now, this is obviously this is flipped, so we have to flip it the other way. And we also have to make sure we're working with the correct one. So let me just go ahead and select this face, and that's the back. Okay, so we have to work with the back portion. So, and then this is obviously the front. So we'll set them up like that. And then there are remaining pieces that we have to attach. So this is tedious work, though it's worth it in the end, in my opinion, because now you're not doing things out of order or you're not doing things incorrectly. For this part, I sped it up, so all I'm doing is attaching each of the edges associated with the beveled piece of the hockey stick and going through and making sure that all of the edges correspond with each other and connect with one another, and then trying to unwrap it. Alright, so for this next portion, we're just going to go ahead and select the body of the stick. We're not going to select the top portion yet because I would like to do that separately. Alright, so same thing. We're just going to go ahead and do an automatic unwrap. And there we go. So bring that out. And then there's our pieces of our stick. And of course, same thing. You just have to make sure what you're selecting is what you want. So this is going to be the front portion. And this is where we're going to show off most of the detail. So this is where you really want to emphasize, that this is where you really want to emphasize the size and the level of attention. Mind you, please save often. I've had the unfortunate circumstance of Maya crashing on me a few times, so please save often. Alright, so now we have to figure out which piece goes with what. Okay, so this one goes with this. Moving so. Same with this one. Bring this on over here. Moving so. Okay. Now for this part, I'm going to separate these two pieces right here. So, oops. Because there's no way you can fit both of them on there. So what we're going to do, separate them. Or, wait a minute, there we go, cut. There we go. Flip them over. Same with this. Flip it over. There we go. Alright, so now our stick is right on target. And as you can see, when you've done it right, when you've completed it, you'll see that everything lines up, everything flows together. So that's how you know you've did it. I sped this portion up because I ran into an error with the mesh on the top piece. So I ended up deleting it and extruding another part of the mesh so I could get a clean portion of geometry to work with. Alright, so now that's taken care of. This is one of those cases where when you model something, sometimes when you unwrap it, it doesn't agree with the geometry that you've created. So in some cases, it will require you to redo it simply for that uh, simply for that reason. But once you have completed it, though, it is a rewarding feeling. So now, just have to size this down. There we go. Okay, so that should be it for the unwrap. The only thing left to do is to make sure that all of our pieces are in the 0 to 1 space. So you go to polygons, you can do layout UVs, and it does it in the 0 to 1 space. But since, turn off the, turn off that checkerboard. Since we have a little bit more space to work with, you can size them up a little bit more. So let's say for these, you can just bring them up a little bit more. For this as well, because you want to make sure you have the majority of the object to its full capacity. All right, so that should be it. So enjoy and thank you.